Okay, Kelim, Mishnah, Perek Tes, Mishnah Zion. I think I figured that out all on my own. Okay, Srida Nasuna Pitana. If you have a Srida, so Srida is some sort of plate made out of earthenware. Also, before that, that's Aktama, something that we've already discussed. I don't know what the order of the Mishnayos and Kalim is. It just seems to go around and constantly goes back to previous cases. I'm not sure why it just didn't keep every case, together. But we said that if you have a something inside a sealed kli, and that will block the tumah from penetrating. But what happens if the kli has a crack in it, right? So sridashi nasuna pietana. If you have a plate that you put on top of the mouth of the tanner, so now it's blocking the tanner, right? And you smeared it with tit, and then you put it was mukaf tzamid psil, meaning basically sealed, and that will protect the tumor from going into the oven. So mukaf tzamid psil, it's you put around a seal all around it. Nistak minataner l'srida, and then a crack somehow happened in between the tanner and this plate. So how big a crack makes it that the tumor is going to penetrate? So shiura meloi pi mardea shaloi nichnas. The hole is as the size of the top of a mardea, is the thing that you make the oxen go with. You don't want to stick. I mean, it has to be enough for it. Shalom, meaning for it to go in, it needs to be a little wider space. It's just enough to touch the outside. Rabbi Yehuda says no, it has to be big enough for this actual thing to go inside. Nistikasrida, if so, that's if there was a crack in between the oven and the plate. But if the plate itself had a crack, nistikasrida shiura kimalei pimadeya nichnas, the shear is enough, at least according to the Tanakama, that the Mardeya goes inside. Rabbi Yehuda says Shaloi Nichnas. Doesn't have to be big enough that the stick goes in, even if it doesn't go in. Meaning, as long as it's big enough to put the end of it in there. Haya ogle. Let's say the hole was round, right? Meaning it's not the ox. I'm saying this ox stick. Mastoma is I don't know what it is. Maybe it's flat. It's square. I don't know. But if the opening is round, so now do you look at it as if and it's not going to fit the stick in it. But the reason why it's not fitting the stick in it is because it's not the right size. Meaning the same, that we know you have that a room or a sukkah. Let's call it sukkah. So a sukkah has to be dalet al dalet. What happens if it's round? Right? So the question is, do you look how do you square it off? Right? So hayagol, if it was round, ain raya noisarach, we don't look at it like it's long. Elashira kimalay pimadea nichnas. The shear is that it has to actually go in there. We don't start trying to refigure reconfigure. There you go. Thank you. Reconfigure. I forgot the con part. Yeah, the reconfigure part. Even though Avican is on, I should. Right? So you have to reconfigure. Um, yeah, I mean you don't reconfigure. It has to fit.
You
It has to
just
actually
marked it
fit.
on spelling, that's all.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So okay, that's one Mishnah for let's do the Rambam Hilchos Tshuva. We are up to Perek Beis Halacha Hey, right? Yeah. Um. Thank you. So the Sheva Gadol, it's very praiseworthy. Lashav, for somebody who's doing tshuva, she is vadu berabim. He should do the vidu in public, v'yedia pshav lahem, and he should let the pshaim be known. Umegala aveiros shebeinu lebein chaveroi la'acherem, and he should tell his friends that he did aveiros to his friends. V'omer lehem omnam chatasi leploini v'asisi lekach v'kach v'arini hayom shavim esnachem. He says, I did a chet against Pliny or Pliny, and now I regret it, and doing tshuva. V'cholam isgov ve'ena midia. See, this is psychologically, this is a difficult Rambam, at least for me.
I guess it's not the minhag today.
No, it doesn't seem well. I'm not so sure with social media. Maybe yeah, I'm not sure. Right? But it says v'cholam isgov. Somebody who has gaiva. Ve'enem idea ela mechasep shav. He doesn't let anybody know his mistakes. He covers it up. Ain't tshuva gemura. It's not a legitimate tshuva. Shenemer mechasep shav lo yatzliach. Right? Oh, but I mean, so it sounds like if you're not willing to admit doing something wrong, that means you're a Baal Gaiva. Right? That's only talking about interpersonal Averis. But between you and Hashem, ain't it tzarich lefarsim atzmai, and you should not be mefarsim. Va'azus ponim hi loy im gilam adarabah. It's a chutzpah if you're megalit. I'm assuming the reason why it's a chutzpah is because you're like sort of, yeah, I did something wrong to Hashem. I didn't keep the mitzvahs. It makes it sound like you're not really regretting it. Maybe I'm not sure. Meaning, I understand why hiding averis that bein adam lachaveroi, if you're hiding it, so that means you don't want to admit to your friend that you did anything wrong. So that's gaiva. But to Rebbeinu Shalom, you should not be megala, because then it looks like you're chummy with him. Maybe that's pshat. I'm not sure. Elashav lefnei hakel baruch hu. You should do tshuva in front of Hashem. Uper chatav lefonov. Maybe mefarat chatoim u'misvada aleim lefnei rabim stam. Maybe misvada aleim in front of a rabbin. V'toivi hiloi shalei nisgala avoinoi. And it's good for him not to be megala, not to say his avera. Shenemar ashrei nisui pesha kisui chato. Praise is the person whose pesha, his avera, is forgiven, and his sin, right? Chato, his chet, a sin. Well, again, you have the difference between pshoim. I don't know how they touch it. Pesha, chato, negligence, right? That's pesha usually. Pesha, yeah.
I don't understand. He says he shouldn't do it, then he says he should do it.
What do you mean? He says you should not be megala your averis.
Right. Then he said, "Umizvada aleim lefnei rabim stam, v'toive he shlo nizgala avoinoi." What does that mean? I don't understand what that means.
He should not be megala his averis. Which one? Which one are you talking about? Where? In the beginning, on Peinado Chaver, Peinado Makom.
In the middle, he says, "Elashev lefnei hakel baruch hu, uparet chatasav in front of Hashem."
In front of Hashem, yeah.
Umizvada aleim lefnei rabim.
Stam.
What does that mean?
Meaning, you're just saying the rabbim, you're saying I'm doing tshuva.
Okay.
Right, saying, I think everybody know I'm doing tshuva, what I did wrong, but you don't say what you did wrong. All right.
And so you're not saying you did it in front of the Rebbeinu Shalom. You say, I'm doing tshuva.
No, to the Rebbeinu you do say.
No, but to the people.
You just tell them I'm doing tshuva, yeah. Yeah, so so again, bein adam lechavera, you should be mefarsim it. But it's interesting, it doesn't say you should be mefarsim it to the guy that you did the avera against. It just seems to say that you should tell your friends. By the way, I baveled, I did something wrong to this guy. Like, what does it help to tell it to a friend?
Yeah.
right? So I don't know how
Because
that.
if he's a friend, then it's someone that you're likely to change properly to not to do it again, even though it's not the same guy, because you made a it's just like making an oath to the guy. I did I did the blah, and now I'm not going to do it again. So if
And it
he,
doesn't mean everybody's called Chavero. The guy you punched in the face, the Chumash and the Gemara call him a Chavero also.
right,
So,
exactly. I'm not talking about that, Aaron. I'm talking about is even if you do it not in front of that guy, okay, you're still making a commitment to someone who you care about, who cares about you. And
You
no,
mean
so,
another
every
human? You're saying another human?
yeah, you're talking about another human. In terms of when it's used like like what Yaakov just said, if even they doesn't say he's in front of that guy, if even it's in front of someone else, but it's still public. So he has more of a commitment to it, to in front of people he cares about. Could be the guy who he damaged. The guy doesn't care about him, and he doesn't care about that guy. But now he's not going to steal change from his pocket, whatever some silly thing it is.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Also, I was thinking maybe that because you don't have to say out loud what you did between you and the Malcolm, because that assumes that the Malcolm doesn't know. The Baruch Shalom knows everything that happened, and he knows it better than you know it.
I hear. So that right. So that's right, but he still wants you to be mefarsim it. Meaning you still need to be mefarid, not mefarsim,
in
mefarid. You
in
have to be
in in
mefarid.
general, but not the specifics.
Correct. No, in general to other people, but not the
Yeah,
specifics have
yeah,
to be said to the Rebbeinu Shalom. That we learn. That you
right.
do. Right. Yeah, yeah, 100%. 100%. Okay, very good.